Could you introduce to us that how long have you been, working here, and what's the experiences in London?
I came here when I was 17, and it's been almost 10 years. I'm from Hong Kong.
So, now more and more people like you from China to Hong Kong or to London. So, do you think that because as in the past that we have cultural differences between each other, and you just like a lot of Chinese coming to London as refugee.
Yeah.
So, do you think it is very important to to let both the Chinese and the British people to understand each other? This is very.
I think it's an interesting relationship because coming from Hong Kong, we were governed by the British for a while, and I think the same applies to China in the sense that parents are always looking to send children overseas. And when I went to Central St. Martin's, it was a really good casting because there were so many Asian students, and they keep increasing the ratio of international students based on the fact that they pay a lot more tuition fee. And I grew up in Hong Kong, and I went to a local school and then an international school. And it's funny because when you have kind of an English accent when you speak Chinese, people in Hong Kong kind of look at you like you're a privileged one and you're more educated simply because you can speak English. And there's always a habit of worshiping the West, and whenever you have a foreign accent, it's like you're better than the people the more local Hong Kong people. And we're kind of brought up to look to the West. And actually, after having been here for almost 10 years and trying so hard to stay here because it's a place where it's more suited for my specific profession, and in fact I always have to have visa issues and worries about that and stress over that. My whole adult life is kind of governed by my visa situation and trying to stay here, but actually that kind of made me yearn to go back to my roots whenever I have to go back to Hong Kong. It's actually a really good way to re-explore my childhood because I grew up, being taught by Americans, English, Canadians, and I didn't really have I was not taught Chinese history, so it was a good way actually living abroad to kind of reconnect with my roots and actually investigate things that I wasn't really able to growing up in such a cosmopolitan city. So yeah.
We are curious why this exhibition is titled as second English as a second language, and what do you want to express to the audiences through your pictures?
Yeah, because when I went to international school, speaking Chinese is actually against the rules. So I only spoke Chinese when I'm outside school and to my parents at home. So there's always my stream of consciousness was always in between the two languages. I'm not complete, I still do grammar mistakes in English, and my Chinese, it's obvious. I can read, I can speak, but I've forgotten a lot of writing, I can read a newspaper completely, but I've forgotten. So I'm not 100% in both languages, and I think the way I think is kind of in between the two channels, and I think that kind of informs the way I work and the way I find inspirations.
So I know that you are commissioned to do this work. So from maybe I think that from your point of view is the best way to express the British culture to the audiences. And so how do you think about that?
I think there's so much imaginations of what British culture is when you're born in Hong Kong, and having lived here was actually realigning the imagination and the reality. And wait, what was your question?
I mean that you are commissioned to
Yeah.
this kind of work.
Yeah.
And maybe from their point of view, you know, and you know, let you do this kind of work is a best way to to net all the people, from China or maybe from outside of the UK, to better understand, the British culture. So.
I think it wasn't really a way to educate people about British culture, but yeah, for me coming here after so much imagination of what Britishness is and realigning the reality and the imagination and having to incorporate Somerset House, which is such a known establishment. My acupuncturist used to work here at the tax office, which was which is what the building was for before what it is now, and I kind of tried to be a bit less serious about it and brought in a really stereotypical Chinese dragon that used to adorn a Chinese restaurant and put it on the columns outside facing the riverside, and just playing with what people view Chinese as, what is Chineseness, and just mixing, what people imagine and what is actually reality, and just, playing on the word West, when West means India, Central Asia in Journey to the West, but nowadays it's really just Europe and North America. So, and then just I just did my own thing and just took the cast that I found at Somerset House and just threw a journey through each photo, literally like in a linear style. So
I noticed that the subtitle, Journey to the West. So does that give you any inspirations?
Yeah, it was literally it's more about the fact that West in the original novel meant their journey to India to find a script, but now West is really, like, to the world's point of view, West is Europe, West is North America, Asia. It's in the history where, Asia always looks to the West, as if it's, for civilization or whatever. So it's just a play on that, and it's not like every image is inspired by the whole novel, but there's just like two elements where like the girl starts from the rooftop, and it's the same girl, and she's a Chinese student studying at King's College for first year, and it ends with her being trapped in the Mountain of Five Fingers, but that's it. It's nothing too deep, like not every image is based on the novel. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.